Number 9, the Great Kabuki, coming in at number 9, blowing the mist with his manager, Gary Hart. And then you could tell me a lot more about it, I'm sure. Then I'll tell you something goofy, funny, silly, whatever.
Oh, sure.
Go with number 9 with Kabuki, would you?
Well, the Great Kabuki,
scared people.
Well, that was just it. He was terrifying. Even though when he first got to WCCW, I didn't remember this. He was a face. They used him against Jim Cornette, but apparently the few times that he was a face, he could flip out and lose his shit anyway. So he was kind of a tweener, even when he was a good guy.
Okay.
But the Great Kabuki was known for being the first wrestler to spray mist in people's faces during the match.
Mm.
He also, the Great Kabuki did something a little different too. He'd come out wearing either like a ninja mask or a no mask or something almost like from a Japanese opera looking kind of thing. And then when he'd unmask, his hair was down in his face and his face was painted. So you never really got a good idea of what he looked like. You just knew he looked like he was going to whip your ass. And, of course, there's the green mist, which the green one makes you go blind, the red one kills you, and the purple one sends you to the Phantom Zone. I'm pretty sure.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say real quick, I did discover, and I didn't know this, is that when he was so he was with Gary Hart most of the time.
Yeah.
And Gary Hart had actually created a backup Kabuki so they could send another guy as the Great Kabuki to other territories when Gary had already made commitments on their time.
Oh, okay.
And originally they billed the Great Muta as Kabuki's son.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense, though. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. So, yeah, back then, Asian guys were still kind of mysterious. And like we said before about Chris Adams, the super kick, not everybody knew how to throw a kick back then. So anything even kind of martial artsy looking was impressive.
Yeah. All right, let's watch this. I want everyone to understand what the Dragon Shy is. Look at this. Look at this.
And he is swinging that kendo stick.
Now.
He is really moving after him now, Kabuki.
Look at that.
Blocking beautifully, I might add.
Touch the body.
He must touch the body. Thus far, he has been unable to.
It's nothing, see? He's perfect. He's perfect.
He got him. He got him.
Look at that.
And Kabuki suddenly retaliating there as he was caught. Kabuki, his attention diverted momentarily, and now Kabuki using the kendo stick on Tommy Rogers.
Beautiful.
And Gary Hart trying to Kabuki, and he is having a problem handling this man. Rogers beating around the head and shoulders as Kabuki just went berserk here once he felt the sting of that bamboo. And it could be, I think, in a sense, called a torture instrument, but nonetheless,
I'll tell you something, mister. I wouldn't want to be one of the fellas that hits Kabuki with a stick. I never seen rage in a man. Look at that Kabuki. Look at him turning circles. This is Dragon Shy on national television. Do you know what you've just seen? You've just seen history. Look at even Hart. Even Hart is having a hard time controlling this man now.
And then also, you just brought something up. Muta he was one of the guys we took off our list as a heel, and we went with Kabuki because he's more of an original, and because of our us and being fans and our fan base, etc. The funny thing I was going to say is that green mist is one thing. The red remind me of I know Tex said something, and then you just now said it, but it's like at the end of Sling Blade, and Carl's like, "Who do you call for an ambulance?" And then Doral says, "Call 911. And he goes, "Well, I aim to kill you." And he said, "Well, then you better tell him to send a hearse too." So the green mist was, called 911. The red mist just called a fucking hearse.
Yeah.
Because it's death. The thing about Kabuki, the martial arts, the nunchucks, the mask, the mist, the mystery of it all. The thing I'll tell you real quickly, and I think it's a great number 9, and I recall I didn't know he came in as a baby face, but you said that, and then also I just had recently heard where he had kicked Jim Cornette, super kicked him. That's great stuff. When I was in England, I went over on a tour there for about 5 or 6 weeks or whatever. I was working with several people. I won't go into great details about it. Maybe that's another episode. But one of the guys I was working with was this young German kid, and I had to help him out and man, there were some English legends there that you know, would help him with the shows, and we was in this big hall over in London. It was one time I got to work in London, and I want to say like Stephen Wright was there, Tony Sinclair, several other people were there to see this German boy I was working with. And the thing was, I went over, which was cool, no big deal. I would have gladly put him over. This big kid's name was Martin. But anyway, so in the locker room on that show, they hired these two people. And to this day, I don't know, because so many people come up to you and tell you who they are or who they were. And about a year later than that, I met a guy who came up to me in a locker room in West Virginia. This guy was about 5 foot fuck all, blind as a fucking bat in the daylight. And he said, "Hi, you may not remember me, but you probably bought one of my masks or my T-shirts from a magazine back in the wrestling days. I was the original Dr. X." And I looked at this fucking guy and I thought, "Buddy, you probably wasn't even a fucking coal miner, you cocksucker. Get the fuck out of my way. Go fuck yourself." And I said, "Hey, Dr. X, thank you. Nice meeting you. Thank you. Whatever." And our ring announcer bought it hook, line, and sinker, who was about a 50-year-old guy at the time, going, "Oh, I always wanted to meet you, Dr. X," and fucking just marked out for the guy. Which takes me back to Kabuki. While I was in England on this one show in London, they said that the original Kabuki was going to be on the show. There was some old guy walk around in fucking face paint, makeup, etc., whatever you want to fucking call it, I don't even know, with a mask and this and that. God, you know what? It could have been a fucking kid for all I know. They said it was a Great Kabuki. I don't think it was, because his manager that night was also introduced as, now it was a solid show, and I was there with some talented guys, some guy like Robbie Brookside and Paige's dad, what's his name, fucking Ricky Knight, and I was with Chad Collier, some American guys, some Mexican guys, whatever. Nonetheless, this other guy that was going to manage him, his claim to fame was he had taught Phil Collins how to play drums as a young boy. He was Phil Collins from Genesis, the rock band Genesis. So you got these two fucking people running around the back of the fucking locker room. Well, they weren't running, as fucking geriatric cocksuckers, claiming to be Kabuki and claiming to be, I'm the man that taught. My claim to fame is I taught, who the fuck did I just now say? God damn it.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins, how to play drums. And, you know, he becomes a drummer and then eventually singer for Genesis and Kabuki, of course. And total, that's the kind of fucking idiots and fucking people you meet on the road in the world of professional wrestling. I know it wasn't the original Kabuki. I know it wasn't the fucking cocksucker that taught Phil Collins how to play drums. I know the fucking Dr. X is a little fucking short, saw-off cocksucker, looked like a fucking half a fucking egg roll bitten off of in West Virginia, wasn't Dr. X. But that's the kind of fucking people we have to deal with, and that's the kind of stories I'll just fucking tell you. So number 10 is Gino Hernandez. Number 10 is the real fucking Kabuki that scared the shit out of people and worked and made money around the world and had Gary Hart as a manager.
Order Pin Me, Pay Me, Have Boots Will Travel by professional wrestler Bobby Blaze Smedley. Go to Amazon.com and get your copy now. It's a powerful and insightful 5-star memoir available to download or in paperback print editions.
I got lost on the road somewhere. Was it Texas or was it Canada?